Conflicts in the workplace seems to be an ever-growing problem in the business world today. It also can be one of the major causes for business losses or business failure. When you run a business or start a business, the idea is to be profitable. You do not want to be a failure. I'm Eric Smith, your host of the Entrepreneur's Voice Show. Today, we have a special guest that we're going to be talking to, and that's Lauren Matos. Lauren, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Lauren is a certified mental or licensed mental health coach that helps your business resolve conflicts. Lauren, tell us about, I understand you have a program that's designed to help businesses increase productivity and reduce conflict and stress and so forth.
Right. The program that I offer, it's a workplace wellness program where I would go into your business for maybe a few days a month, and I would work with your employees on resolving conflicts, conflicts between coworkers, conflicts between employees and management, and also helping employees with changes in the workplace, because we all know that change is inevitable, but we also know that people get comfortable in their roles and have a hard time changing.
Making those changes,
right.
yes.
And sometimes that is what kind of fuels some of the conflict that you're seeing. So when people feel uncomfortable, they react in various ways. And so my service can help with helping them transition in a way that they're not disrupting the average work day.
When you take this program into businesses, what are some of the benefits that businesses receive after they're working with you that they notice with their employees and, even overall profitability and so forth?
Right. Well, when employees feel like they are in a comfortable work environment, when they get along with their coworkers, when management understands them and listens to them, when they feel like they're contributing to their company's goals and their own personal career goals, then they're much more likely to be productive and to want to go along with what the business is trying to achieve.
Buy into that philosophy of the company.
Exactly. But when they feel like they're not being listened to, or when their efforts aren't being appreciated, then their morale dips, and that leads to increased stress, increased absenteeism, people who are not focused on their job and might be withdrawing a little bit, even to the level of sabotage if it gets to a really bad level.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
How widespread is this issue with conflict in the workplace? You're here in the Tampa Bay area. How big a problem do you see this as being?
Well, I've read recently, it's a national statistic, but it says that 70% of the workforce is actually looking for a new job. And most of the time, the reason that they give for that is that they're not happy where they are. And of the top 5 reasons why an employee would say that they want to move on, workplace environment is one of those. Feeling like they're not appreciated by their company is another. Lack of flexibility within the corporate environment is a third. So managing your workplace conflicts, managing the relationships between your employees and between management and employees is very important.
Again, as a business owner, if you're listening to this, when you watch this, definitely click on the link below. You want to make contact with Lauren because your business is in business to make a profit. And if you have shareholders want, you have a responsibility there too. So happier employees, from what I'm understanding, is going to make for a happier workplace and the bottom line increase for that business.
Right, and not only that, but your work environment gets projected out into the public. So let's say your employees are bickering between each other, and then they get on a phone call with one of your customers. How helpful are they going to be with that customer? Because in their minds, they're still dealing with the conflict they just had. It's not easy for us to shift from being in an angry state or an argumentative state into a helpful and open state. So it creates conflicts across the board. and can really damage your workplace's image in the community. Because nobody wants to know that they're, if I'm going to call up some company, to get help for myself, that I'm going to have a rude experience or somebody who's not listening to me.
Absolutely. So tell our listeners and our audience, you sound super qualified. If I had a big group of employees, I definitely would want you to come in and help our team and so forth. What inspired you to get started with doing this type of work? This is amazing work you do.
Believe it or not, I have worked in many dysfunctional work environments where, one in particular I can think of. I won't name who I worked for, but it was an environment.
Keep them silent here.
It was an environment where I didn't want to leave my desk because there was so much infighting between the employees. There were little cliques that had been that kind of developed. The management were kind of checked out. They didn't want to hear about our issues.
Wow.
And it just made for a very uncomfortable work environment. You would go to work not wanting to be there, just keep my head down, get my job done, and get out of there. And I know my quality work suffered because if management doesn't care, why should I? And that's the perception I had. Management, I'm sure, cared about their business.
Yeah.
But it wasn't being conveyed to the employees. And so I would have loved for somebody to come in and help with these environmental and conflict issues. And so that's why I got into what I do.
Wow. How long have you been doing what you're doing?
I've been in business in my own practice for a few months, but I've been doing mental health counseling and conflict resolution for the last 5 years.
That's awesome and that's why we appreciate having entrepreneurs come onto our show. You're super qualified, been doing this for 5 years, and then you step into your role in your own business. Congratulations for taking that step, number one, and starting your own business. But number two, the fact that you've experienced this, now that gives you that relatability when you go into a company. I see that as a huge positive aspect. Anything else about your workforce or this program, a few nuggets that you would like to leave before we get people subscribing to give you a call?
Yeah, well, I think when employers roll out health programs, they often ignore mental health. But mental health is the basis for the rest of your health, your physical health, your stress levels, how you operate, and how you interact with others. So if you don't have a mentally healthy workforce, then you don't have a healthy workforce. It's another study that I read of the top 10, and this is from the World Health Organization, of the top 10 health problems that keep employees out of work, meaning they're calling in sick, they're not present when they're there. Of those things, number 1 was depression. Number 5 was anxiety. And it's well known that people who have depression are higher risk of heart disease, diabetes, substance abuse, and so identifying those people that need extra help because it's underdiagnosed.
Wow.
In this environment, in this country.
So with work, when a company contracts you to come in to help them, you help them with all those various phases.
Absolutely. I mean, I can identify those who need that extra help and encourage them to do that. It also reduces the stigma for your employees to go and get the help that they need if you're endorsing it.
So there's no reason for anyone to feel ashamed. Everything is confidential and,
right.
and private and so forth.
That's right. The program would have to be confidential. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. Because if your employee doesn't feel safe coming to me to discuss some of the conflicts and issues that they're having, if they feel like they would be somehow punished for that, then the program wouldn't work. So there has to be a safe environment for your employees to come in and speak with your mental health counselor or coach. But it benefits you in the long run because I'm there to help them function better in their work environment, and that helps you.
Absolutely. So again, as a business owner, even as an employee, please share this information with a business owner or a manager, supervisor. workplace conflicts can be resolved. And in the Tampa area, this is the person you want to call on. This is Lauren Matos, visiting us here on the Entrepreneur's Voice Show. Lauren, thank you so much for allowing us to drop in and find out about your wonderful business, share it with others. Please click on the link below. You can connect with her on Facebook, connect with her on her website, get started, bring this resolution to your business, increase your company's profits, because that's why you're in business. I'm Eric Smith, your host of the Entrepreneur's Voice Show, and we'll look forward to seeing you with our next entrepreneur.